Rise of the Animal Kingdom by Colton Dennis. When four people discover pieces of a crystal, they are given the power to transform into their favorite animal. But an evil witch will stop at nothing to regain the crystal. It's up to the four strangers to stop this evil goddess. Planet Sitlali. A black light hits a wall. Sheena Ascani appears on the floor, stands, then runs down the hallway. Another black light hits Sheena. Sheena falls onto the floor again, groans, then looks back. Rebecca Amagon appears, then points her staff. See, I told you that you were weak. Any last words? Asked Rebecca. And quat, Sitlali Briotto, and quat, said Sheena in a different language. A white light hits Rebecca. Rebecca falls onto the floor, groans, then sees Sheena running away. You can run, but you can't hide, said Rebecca. Sheena runs into a room, then grabs a spell book. A third black light hits the wall next to Sheena. You don't need to do this, said Sheena. Yes, I do, without you here. I'll be the goddess of Sitlali, said Rebecca. But we're sisters, said Sheena. Step. Which means I'll step all over you if I have to, said Rebecca, forming a black light. And quat, Sitlali teleporti, and quat, said Sheena, disappearing, then reappears in a chair. A spaceship turns on. And quat, no, and quat, yelled Rebecca. The spaceship flies away. Sheena sighs. Thumping sound inside the spaceship. Sheena looks back. Rebecca appears, then throws a black light. An alarm starts beeping. The spaceship goes into a wormhole. Earth appears. A light flashes. The spaceship appears, goes towards Earth, catches on fire, then breaks apart. Pieces of the spaceship land into the ground and the mountain. Alton, Illinois, 2020. Present day. Footsteps running. And quat, hey, and quat, stop him, and quat, yelled Store. Clue number 1. Kyle Rowland appears running down the sidewalk, then stops. Police officers appear. Stop. Were you a kid? Now, hand over the item, said officer number 1. Kyle slowly raises a necklace, then runs down an alley. And quat, freeze, and quat, yelled officer number 2. Kyle continues running, climbs over a fence, then hides behind a dumpster. The police officers run past. Kyle peeks out, looks at the necklace, smiles, then starts to walk. A gun cocks. Kyle looks up. Christopher Cania appears, pointing a gun. Lay down the necklace and put your hands behind your head. Kyle drops the necklace, then raises his hands. You did a stupid thing, Kyle. Walk, said Christopher. Kyle gets put into a police car. Christopher gets into the driver's seat. I'm sorry about this. I won't do it again, said Kyle. Like you said the last time. Christopher laughs. Why would you steal a necklace? Asked Christopher. It was gonna be a present for Beth. Her birthday's coming up, said Kyle. Well, now, you'll need to find something else, said Christopher. The police car pulls into the police station. The doors open, then shuts. Both Christopher and Kyle are walking into the police station. Hey, Officer Cania, said officer number 3. Sit here. You know the process, said Christopher. Kyle sits onto a bench. What are you in for? Asked Colton Dennis, appearing. I took a necklace without paying. You? Asked Kyle. I beat up a homeless man, said Colton. Jesus, said Kyle. I'm kidding. I'm waiting for a friend, said Colton. Footsteps are approaching. Mr. Dennis, here's your stepfather, said Christopher. Hey, son. Joseph Badowski appears then burps. Who's your albino friend? Asked Joseph. All right, Joe, let's go. Sorry about him, said Colton. Both Colton and Joseph are walking away. Hey, Chris, said Kyle, being interrupted. It's Officer Kania, said Christopher. Yeah, whatever. I've never seen him before, said Kyle. Colton Dennis, he's new in town. Got adopted by Joe and Ashley. He'll be going to Alton High School. All right, Kyle, you're free to go. But no more robbing, said Christopher. Kyle walks outside of the police station. Oh, is my baby all right? Asked Ashley Apple, appearing, rubbing Joseph's head. He's drunk, said Colton. Shut up, you make him do it. I wish we never adopted you. Now, get into the car, said Ashley. Whatever, said Colton. You know what? Find another way home. Or another home in general, said Ashley, getting into a car. The car drives away. Colton turns around, then sees Kyle. You all right? Asked Kyle. I'm fine, said Colton. Hey, if you need a place to crash, you can stay with me, said Kyle. Thanks for the offer, but I'll be fine, said Colton, walking away. An apartment door opens. A set of keys get placed onto a table. Kyle, walking, then stops. Beth Bartle appears. Before, said Kyle, being interrupted. Robbery? Are you serious? I thought this was gonna stop. Since you're not going to, I'm out of here. Goodbye, Kyle, said Beth. Where are you going? Asked Beth. My sister's. Maybe she'll understand, said Beth, opening the apartment door. You're right. I'm sorry. You should leave. But I'll always love you, said Kyle. The apartment door shuts. Kyle sits onto a couch, knocking on the apartment door. Kyle stands, then walks towards the apartment door. The apartment door opens. Colton appears. Hey, is this a bad time? Asked Colton. No, come on in. How'd you know where I lived? Asked Kyle. I followed. Were you serious about me staying here? Asked Colton. Yes. How's your parents? Asked Kyle. Those bastards aren't my parents. May I sit? Asked Colton. Sure, you want to talk? I'm good at listening, said Kyle. No, sorry. I don't like talking about myself, said Colton. The apartment door opens, then shuts. Christopher appears. Hey, didn't know we had company. Hi. Colton, right? Asked Christopher, shaking Colton's hand. Yeah? Officer Kania, said Colton. Please? I'm off duty. Call me Chris. Where's Beth? Asked Christopher. She went to her sister's, said Kyle. She'll be back, said Christopher. Colton's gonna stay here tonight. His pa, guardians are, said Kyle, being interrupted. Drunk out of their minds, said Colton. The spaceship parts appear in the forest, then start moving. A hand appears from the rubble. Rebecca moves the pieces of the spaceship, then stands up. Vehicles appear driving past. Rebecca walks onto the road. A car stops. The tires squeal. The driver door opens. Edwin Aguato appears. Are you nuts, lady? I could have killed you, said Edwin. Rebecca looks at Edwin. You threatened me, and that's a big dare. Let me repay you by turning you into a hare, said Rebecca, pointing her staff. A black light hits Edwin. Edwin screams, then transforms into a hare. I'm at your disposal, said Edwin's voice in Rebecca's mind. Good. Rebecca looks at the town. This town will bow to me, said Rebecca. Yes, my goddess, said Edwin's voice in Rebecca's mind. But we'll need more servants to help destroy this city. Let's find my army, said Rebecca. Yes, my goddess, said Edwin in Rebecca's mind. And we must make sure no one stops us. Come on, you little hare, said Rebecca. Colton, staring at his reflection, then takes off his shirt. Bruises appear on Colton's back. Colton puts another shirt on. The bathroom door opens. Hey, is everything all right? You were in there a while, said Kyle. I'm fine, said Kyle. Come join us. We're watching A Nightmare Before Christmas, said Christopher. Sure, I want to thank you for letting me stay here, said Colton. No problem. Our door's always open, said Kyle. Thanks, said Colton. A bar appears. Beth walks into the bar. Give me a beer, said Beth. The beer opens then gets placed in front of Beth. There you go, Beth. Beth sighs. Rough night? Asked Dylan Androcrates, appearing behind the bar. You've got no idea, said Beth. People laughing. Ashley, Joseph and Scott. Alfonso appear walking towards the bar. That was good. 3 beers, Dill, said Scott. It's Dylan and they're coming right up, said Dylan. Hey sweetheart, you want a real man? Asked Scott. Sure, you see one around? Asked Beth. Hey, stop being rude. I'm a swell guy, said Scott. That's the alcohol, said Beth. Hey, I'm not drunk. You bitch, said Scott. Beth knees Scott in his testicles. Scott groans, then makes a fist. Dylan grabs Scott's right arm. No confrontation in my bar, said Dylan. Fine. You're lucky, said Scott, walking away. Thanks, said Beth. No problem, said Dylan. The bar door opens then shuts. Both the hare and Rebecca appear. May I help you, ma'am? Rebecca looks around the bar. Animals aren't allowed, said Dylan. Wait. Maybe she wants some of me, said Scott, walking towards Rebecca. Rebecca looks at Scott. You smell of anger and sexuality. I know the perfect thing. It's fat, pink, and a pig, said Rebecca, pointing her staff. The black light hits Scott. Scott screams, then transforms into a pig. The pig squeals. Jesus, Scott, asked Ashley. You will give a big howl when you become my seeing owl, said Rebecca, pointing her staff again. Another black light hits Ashley. Ashley screams, then transforms into an owl. The owl hoots. Ash, said Joseph, you have all your bricks in a row. Time to become my midnight crow, said Rebecca, pointing her staff a third time. The black light hits Joseph. Joseph screams, then transforms into a crow. The crow caws. Oh God, said Beth. It seems like you can't really bear it. But here's your surprise. Of being a ferret, said Rebecca, pointing her staff. Dylan moves Beth. The black light hits Dylan. Dylan screams, then transforms into a ferret. Beth runs through the back door. Rebecca growls. Let her go. We have our army, said Edwin's voice in Rebecca's mind. Good. No one will stop me, said Rebecca. Footsteps running. Beth looks back, then stops. I think I lost her, said Beth, turning around. Sheena appears. Beth gets startled. Sorry, are you all right? Asked Sheena. Fine, I just saw someone turn people into animals, said Beth. Rebecca, she survived the crash, said Sheena. What crash? Asked Beth. Doesn't matter. I must find and Quat, the 4, and Quat, said Sheena. Who are and Quat, the 4, and Quat? Asked Beth. 4 people who have the purest hearts. Which will get these? Said Sheena, showing pieces of a crystal. Come with me, said Beth. All three appear sitting on their couch. Christopher grabs the remote. The TV turns off. Such a great movie, said Christopher. Of course it is, said Kyle, knocking on the apartment door. Kyle walks towards the apartment door, then opens it. Hey Kyle, we need to talk, said Beth. Both Beth and Sheena walk into the apartment. Come in, said Kyle, shutting the apartment door. Who's your friend? Asked Christopher. I'm Princess Sheena Ascani. From the planet Sitlali, said Sheena. Yeah, and I'm Prince Christopher. From the planet and Quat, bathroom, and Quat, said Christopher. Nice to meet you, Prince, said Sheena. Where'd you find this one? Beth? Asked Kyle. I believe her, said Beth. Seriously, said Colton. I just saw a woman walk into a bar and transform 4 people into animals, said Beth. Yeah, and I walked into a bar and picked up a transgender, said Christopher. Chris, not now, said Kyle. You don't believe me? Asked Beth. No, I think someone spiked their drink, said Kyle. I'm telling the truth, said Beth, grabbing Kyle's shirt. All right, calm down, Beth, said Kyle. You're right. I don't know, said Beth. Don't give up. You promised to help me find and Quat, the 4, and Quat, said Sheena. And Quat, the 4, and Quat, asked Colton. Who are and Quat, the 4, and Quat, asked Kyle. 4 people who have the purest hearts. That will stop my stepsister and her demonic creatures, said Sheena. And when you find these 4 people, what happens after that? Asked Kyle. I'll give them these pieces of a crystal from my world. One touch of the crystal. They transform into their favorite animal, said Sheena. Then what? Asked Kyle. Hang on, you're believing this? They're just rocks that look like crystals. Christopher grabs a piece of the crystal. See, nothing's happening, said Christopher, groaning, falling onto the floor, slowly starts transforming, stands up, walks backwards, falls behind the couch, then stops groaning. Chris, you all right? Asked Kyle. A brown bear appears from behind the couch, then growls. All 3 step backwards. That's a brown bear, said Beth. Yeah, that's what to focus on. Not that Chris just transformed into a brown bear, said Colton. It looks hungry, said Kyle. Reason with it, said Beth. Go right ahead, said both Colton and Kyle. The brown bear growls again, then walks towards all 3 of them. Sheena steps forward. Christopher, listen to my voice. You can control the bear. It's been inside you all along. The brown bear growls. Chris, sit, said Sheena. What are you doing? Asked Kyle, controlling his inner animal. The brown bear growls again. Chris, you know me and your friends. Remember Chris? The brown bear looks at all 4 of them, then into Sheena's eyes. Chris, sit, said Sheena. The brown bear snorts, then sits down. You did it, said Colton. Now, you 3, said Sheena. Us? I don't think so, said Colton. I need your help, they said. And Quat. The 4 would always come back to each other. And Quat. Please, I need your help, said Sheena. I'll help, said Beth. Me too, said Kyle. All 3 look at Colton. What? No way. I'm not turning myself into an animal, said Colton. If you help me stop my step sister, I'll turn you back to your human self. I'll find someone to replace you after, said Sheena. Colton groans. Fine. This is the only time, said Colton. Fair enough, said Sheena, holding out the pieces of the crystals. All three grab a piece of the crystal, start groaning, then transform. A bull mastiff, a hyena and a tiger appear. The bull mastiff growls. The hyena laughs. The brown bear growls. The tiger roars. Both the crow and the owl appear outside the window, then fly away. Rebecca appears sitting in the bar. The pig snorts. The ferret appears eating crumbs. The hare hops towards Rebecca. The crow and owl are back, said Edwin's voice in Rebecca's mind. Both the crow and the owl fly into the bar. Tell me you found them, asked Rebecca. Yes, your goddess, said Ashley's voice in Rebecca's mind. She has animals too, said Joseph's voice in Rebecca's mind. All right, you four. My stepsister will not take any prisoners. We have to kill her animal army, said Sheena. There needs to be another way, said Kyle's voice in Sheena's mind. I don't see another way, said Sheena. One of those animals is my friend. I can't kill him, said Beth's voice in Rebecca's mind. Maybe her power source. We take that away, said Kyle's voice in Sheena's mind. Her staff. But she'll see us coming from a mile away, said Sheena. Don't worry, Sheena. We'll stop her, said Christopher's voice in Sheena's mind. The hyena looks out the window. Look out, said Colton's voice in Sheena's mind. All five look, then move. A car goes through the window, then beeps. Are you guys all right? Asked Sheena. If they're not, they won't be, said Rebecca. The ferret jumps into the tiger's face. The tiger growling. The pig charges at the brown bear. The brown bear goes through the apartment wall. People screaming, then run away. The hare hops around. The hyena chases the hare. The hare goes underneath the car. The hyena collides into the car door. Both the crow and the owl are pecking at the bull mastiff. The bull mastiff runs away. You shouldn't have followed me, said Sheena. Hey, once you're dead, I'm the queen. Then I'll return to Sitlali and rule within Iron Fist, said Rebecca. Over my dead body, said Sheena. Precisely, said Rebecca, pointing her staff. Sheena disappears. The black light breaks through the floor. Animals fall to the next level of the apartment. A white light hits Rebecca. Rebecca falls onto the road. You're not the only one with power. I just chose not to use it, said Sheena. You call that power? Here's power, said Rebecca, pointing her staff. The black light hits Sheena. Sheena goes through the building, then the roof. The brown bear tackles the pig. The pig squeals, stands, then charges at the brown bear. The ferret gets flung into the wall, then squeals. The tiger roars. The hare hops onto the tiger's face. The tiger growls. The ferret runs underneath the tiger, then stops. The hyena snarls. The ferret slowly walks backwards. Colton, no. He's my friend, said Beth's voice in Hyena's mind. The hyena snarls. The sound of wings flapping. Both the crow and the owl continue pecking at the bull mastiff. The hyena jumps, then bites the owl's wing. The owl hoots in pain. The hyena bites the owl again. The owl stops moving. The crow caws, then starts pecking at the hyena. The hyena snarling. Chris, Colton needs help, said Beth's voice in the brown bear's mind. The bull mastiff tackles the pig. The crow continues pecking at the hyena. The brown bear appears, growls, then swats the crow. The crow goes into the apartment wall, then stops moving. The hare hops into the car. The tiger growls. The hare goes to hop out the other side of the car. The hyena snarls. The bull mastiff goes into the table. The pig snorts. The brown bear growls. The pig squeals. The brown bear swats the pig. The pig falls next to the hole in the apartment wall. The bull mastiff charges, then tackles the pig. The pig falls out of the hole, squeals, then lands hard onto the concrete. "Oh no," said Kyle's voice in all three of the animals' minds. All four look up, Rebecca holding Sheena by her throat. "This is the end," said Rebecca. "You forgot one thing, evil bitch," said Beth's voice in Rebecca's mind. "What's that?" asked Rebecca. "Loyalty," said Beth's voice in Rebecca's mind. The ferret jumps into Rebecca's face. Rebecca lets go of both Sheena and her staff. "Why ain't she teleporting?" asked Colton's voice in all three animals' minds. "I don't know. She's not gonna make it," said Beth's voice in all three of the animals' minds. The hyena jumps. Sheena lands onto the hyena's back, then opens her eyes. "And quat, sit lali teleporty, and quat," said Sheena weakly. Both the hyena and Sheena disappear, then reappear inside the apartment. The ferret goes into the car, then squeaks softly. "Dylan," said Beth's voice in the ferret's mind. "You've lost," said Rebecca. "I don't think so," said Sheena, swinging her staff down. The staff breaks. Rebecca groans. A black light gets drained out of Rebecca. Rebecca falls. A hand grabs Rebecca's right arm. "You saved me," said Rebecca. "You might want me dead, but I don't want you to be," said Sheena, pulling Rebecca up. Joseph groans. The car door opens. Edwin crawls out of the car. Ashley's body appears. "Ash," said Joseph. "What happened?" asked Edwin. 2 weeks later, a mountain appears. Colton appears. The cave door opens. "Hey, Colton," said Christopher. "Hey, how's your friend?" asked Colton. "Dylan's fine. Finally walking around," said Beth. "I never thanked you for saving me," said Sheena. "You're welcome," said Colton. "I found the spell to undo the animal version," said Sheena. "You know, I thought about it. I want to stay. I actually like doing this. Who knows what else is out there," said Colton. "I'm glad you're staying," said Kyle. The cave door opens again. Rebecca approaches. "Why's she out?" asked Colton. "I trust her," said Sheena. "I made these for you guys," said Rebecca, handing 4 necklaces. "Just touch the crystal, then you'll transform. But to turn back, just say and quat, sit lali transformui, and quat," said Sheena. "You know, I think we should have a different name than and quat. The 4 and quat," said Colton. "Like what?" asked Christopher. "How about and quat, League of Animorphs, and quat?" asked Rebecca. "What's that?" asked Beth. "It's a Sitlali language. It means, and quat, League of Animals, and quat," said Sheena. All 4 are smiling. "You know, I don't think we could stop all the criminals," said Christopher. "What do you mean?" asked Sheena. "It's English. It means, we're gonna need more help," said Kyle. "I'll get started," said Sheena. All 6 walk into the cave. The cave door shuts. The end.